Hi everyone, this is Amy. Welcome to my channel. Each individual skater is unique and has their own skating style. Your skating level, height, body composition, the shape of your foot, and preferences all contribute to which skate is best for you. In most of my videos, I've discussed skates as a single unit, boots and blades together. But the boot and blade are actually separate parts, and there comes a time when you will need to purchase your boots and the blades separately. This can be a little confusing, especially when it comes to sorting out which blade is right for you. There are such a wide variety of blades on the market today. In recent years, there's been tremendous progress and innovation by blade manufacturers. What does all this mean for you as a skater? As a coach, my understanding of the sport, coupled with knowledge of the blade, allows me to help my skaters make sound choices for their equipment. These choices help them to maximize their skating potential. In this video, I'm going to help get you started in understanding the features of the blade so that you can better understand how a blade works and what features are necessary for you so that you can separate them from all the marketing hype. Before I get into it, if we're just meeting, my name is Aimée Ricca. I'm a PSA ranked and rated figure skating coach. I'm also an ISSA certified elite trainer, certified specialist in strength and conditioning, and Precision Nutrition PN1 certified nutrition coach. I work with skaters and their parents, people just like you, to help them get real skating results. Before I get into all the specifics about the blade, I want to be clear that you should always consult with your own coach before making any changes at all to your equipment. They know you and your skating best and can make personalized recommendations. You should also visit your local skate tech and discuss the choices with them. They know the equipment best. It is also the role of the skate tech to mount your blades. You want this to be done by someone locally, as often adjustments to the mounting need to be made. I always have my blades offset a little bit. You can see how my blade is not quite centered here. I always go to Greg at Polar Skate Shop. This video is not sponsored by Polar Skate Shop. By the way, I just really like Greg's work and recommend him to all my skaters. Now that all of that is out of the way, let's get into it. Let's start with the toe pick right here. This was first introduced in the 1870s in Sweden when what was called a sawtooth pick were added to the front of the blades. American Jackson Haynes was credited as the first to wear them. There are several types of picks. Straight cut and cross cut, which is what I have here, are the most common. Straight cut toe picks will allow skaters to dig into the ice and create grip while allowing both rotation and lift. The linear front edges will grip the ice, while the geometry of the pattern allows the skater to pivot. Many skaters prefer straight cut picks for their forgiving nature in generating rotation. John Wilson Pattern 99 blades are one of the most popular blades globally. That blade has a straight cut toe pick. Many elite skaters wear Pattern 99s, including Shomo Uno, Adam Rippon, and Ashley Wagner. It is generally less expensive to produce a straight cut from a manufacturing standpoint because it takes fewer production steps. Cross-cut toe picks have a key feature that I like to call security. This is the hold it offers you into the top layers of the ice, and that's why I prefer cross-cut. And it's one of the reasons that I skate on John Wilson Gold Seal blades. By the way, this video is not sponsored by John Wilson either. But John Wilson, if you want to sponsor me, I'm happy to talk to you. Many elite skaters, including Nathan Chen, Mirai Nagasu, Gabrielle Dalman, Carolina Costner, Mariah Bell, Courtney Hicks, and Brady Tennell, all use Gold Seal blades, just like I do. But developmental blades like the John Wilson Coronation Ace also have cross-cut toe picks. The rakes are pointed with peaks alternating from each side. I don't know if you can see that. Both the straight and cross-cut are available in multiple patterns and rake sizes, as well as variable relative angles to the ice. The lowest single pick on the rake and furthest from the foot is called the drag pick. That's that right here. sometimes also called an anchor pick, master pick, or drop pick. This pick initiates vertical height from horizontal velocity in edge jumps and also provides a pivot point for toe jumps. The king pick, or primary pick, is the one at the top of the rig, closest to the foot. It's primarily used for back pivots. It's right here. This area here between the toe pick and the rest of the blade, this is called the non-skateable zone. This term was popularized by skate tech Sidney Broadbent. It defines its location as a space between the drag pick, where the sharpening begins. The non-skateable zone can range from 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches. It varies depending upon the blade model. You might be thinking that you don't need to worry about this because its name implies that it's a non-skateable area, right? Wrong. The non-skateable zone actually does engage with the ice in many critical moments, particularly during jumps and turns. So this area is engaged during critical times when executing elements like jumps and spins. But not all skate sharpeners know how to maintain the non-skateable zone. And if it's not maintained correctly, you'll start to notice a bump that protrudes from the blade because it's not sharpened with the rest of the blade. This isn't good. Trained professional sharpeners will maintain this area so that you don't get that bump. Good techs know that the profile of the entire blade needs to be maintained. But if your skate sharpener doesn't do this and you have started to develop a bump here, it might be time for you to take your blades to someone else to get them sharpened. I was going to a skate sharpener for a while that did not maintain the non-skateable zone. When I started going to Greg at Polar Skate Shop, he showed me that there was a bump there. The bump is formed by sharpening the blade because it wears down the blade, but a good skate tech like Greg will stone this bump out by hand so that it doesn't protrude and the profile of the blade is maintained. Next is the toe plate. This is the plate attached to the boot, and it should be placed directly under the ball of your foot. This is why you need someone to do this. The other plate back here, this is a heel plate. It's attached to the boot. As the name implies, it should be placed directly under your heel. This two-plate design was developed by Jackson Haynes in 1865. The design adds stability and allows you to perform more athletic jumps. So next time you jump, you can thank Jackson Haynes. Blade sizing has established a standard for the proper blade length for a given boot sole. The length of a blade is measured from the front of the toe plate to the back of the heel plate, rather than measuring the length of the runner. Blades are almost always 1/8 of an inch to 1/2 inch shorter in length than the sole of the boot. Here we have the stanchions. These are sometimes referred to as height measurement. The height of the blade is measured from the ice to the sole of the boot. These refer to the supports along the blade for the toe and the heel plates. Stanchions provide distance between the boot and the ice to allow you to lean on edges when you are skating. This feature can significantly influence your performance. The height of the stanchions determines how much body lean you can achieve before the outer sole of the boot touches the ice. The lower the stanchion, the lower the center of gravity, which promotes better balance, but less body lean. Beginner blades like the Eclipse Crescent, for example, have a low stanchion height. My gold seals right here have a much higher heel stanchion. In fact, these blades have the highest stanchion height. This allows more advanced and taller skaters to achieve deeper edges without the boot touching the ice. The part of the blade back here that extends beyond the heel stanchion, away from the picks, that's called the tail. The bottom portion of the blade that rests on the ice surface, this is the actual blade, and we call it the runner. You can see it because it's not shiny like the rest of the blade, it's a little bit duller. Can you see that? When this wears down, that's when it's time to replace your blade. The primary radius of the blade is from the ball of the foot to the heel, and this is commonly referred to as the rocker because it allows the blade to rock back and forth. A smaller radius results in more of a rocker. It's standard to measure this rocker in feet, most commonly 7 or 8 feet. This is an 8-foot rocker, my Gold Seal, and pattern 99s are also 8 feet. Developmental blades like the Coronation Ace, which I suggest for developing skaters, have a 7-foot radius. This provides for a more curved blade, so less surface contact with the ice, making it more forgiving on spins, smoother for turns, and deeper edges. But it provides less contact with the ice surface for edge control and landing jumps. An 8-foot rocker provides more contact surface with the ice. This assists in getting more speed, provides for better edge control in approaching jumps, as well as more stability when landing jumps. This is especially critical for multiple revolution jumps. Some say that it's more difficult to find the sweet spot for spins and 3 turns on an 8-foot rocker. However, I haven't found this to be the case with my Gold Seals. When I switched from Coronation Ace to Gold Seal, I actually found it easier to find my sweet spot on my spins and turns. But maybe that's just me. It's generally suggested and widely accepted that you start off with a 7-foot rocker, and as you progress, an 8-foot rocker can become helpful, especially when executing multiple revolution jumps. It's theorized that there's more significant weight displacement with the larger radius. This means less penetration into the ice, which creates drag or friction and results in a faster blade. Conversely, a smaller radius would allow for increased maneuverability, but reduced flow. In reality, the difference between the two typical rocker curves is possibly undetectable by most skaters. However, suppose a primary rocker radius is smaller than the height of your center of gravity. In that case, it would become almost impossible for you to balance. As the radius becomes flatter, you'll experience lack of maneuverability. So that's why most manufacturers stick to radii suitable. It's more critical that they manufacture accurate and consistent blades that do not have large deviations in the rocker, like flat spots or negative rockers along the blade length. The secondary rocker, or spin rocker, is sometimes called the sweet spot. I used that term before in this video. We use that for spinning. This is the portion of the blade's runner from the end of the non-skateable zone to the ball of the foot before the primary rocker begins. The curvature of the spin rocker is usually measured in inches. Looking at the blade, you can visually see the deeper curve compared to the back 2/3 of the blade, where the rocker is measured in feet. The combination of the curve size in the spin rocker can influence how the blade reacts and feels to you, particularly on jumps and spins. A blade will engage with the toe pick faster when jumping on a blade with a larger radius in the sweet spot. For spinning, the smaller radius in the spin rocker, the more balance may be required to maintain your center. Some blades profiles may have a combination of different radii in the spin rocker, while other blades may have just one defined radius. While the characteristics of the spin rocker play an important role in how the blade feels to you, you will generally adapt to a new or different rocker profile after some time. This Gold Seal here has an aggressive secondary rocker, which is one of the reasons I chose it. But it isn't suitable for everyone. Pattern 99 and Coronation Ace blades have a more supple secondary rocker. The blade profile is the shape and placement of the spin rocker in relationship to the rest of the blade. The larger the radius of the spin rocker, the flatter the sweet spot. Pattern 99 and Coronation Ace, for example, have the flattest sweet spot, while the Gold Seal, Gold Star, and MK Professional have a more curved spin rocker. But the sweet spot is further forward in those blades. That's actually one of the reasons I love my Gold Seals, by the way. This video has gotten really long, so I've decided to split it into a few parts. In upcoming videos, I'll discuss the blade types and blade materials, as well as how to care for your blades. I post videos every week, so remember to subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss a video. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and share it with somebody else you think it could help. And just post it to your social media too. This is Aimée. Happy skating. I will see you real soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.